All right, y'all. Well, I definitely did not see this one coming. These are just the preliminary reports about what has been filed, about the lawsuit that has been filed. But when it popped up on my timeline, I was just like, girl, this is probably some bullshit. And I kept scrolling. But then I was like, oh, girl, the major outlets got it. Like NBC got it, which is what I'm going to be reading from today in this video. NBC got it. The lawsuit has been filed, I think, in LA. Emilio Garcia, who is Megan Thee Stallion's former cameraman, has filed the lawsuit. Let's get into what we know about it. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about it. This is going to be from NBC, literally NBC, like I said. So the link to that article will be in my description. Like I said, Emilio Garcia filed this lawsuit, and he said that apparently the harassment was so severe or pervasive that it created a hostile, abusive work environment that made Garcia's working conditions intolerable. Here, the article is just saying that Megan Thee Stallion and her management did not immediately respond to NBC. It says Garcia began working for Megan Thee Stallion as a personal cameraman in 2018, quit his job in 2019 to pursue the gig with Megan full-time, and worked for her until June 2023. Now, Garcia also said in the lawsuit that he traveled with Megan to Spain in June 2022, and that while in an SUV with Megan and 3 other women after a night out, Megan and one of the women began to be intimate in front of him or next to him in the moving car. He said, I felt uncomfortable. I was kind of frozen, and I was shocked at kind of just the overall audacity to do this right beside me. He was talking to NBC News in an interview. Then the following day, the rapper apparently asked Garcia whether he was in the car with them the night before. And when he confirmed that he was, Megan told him, don't ever discuss what you saw. Garcia in the lawsuit alleges that during the same trip, Megan was fat shaming him, calling him fat B words, and apparently telling him to spit your food out and you don't need to be eaten. Garcia said, to hear someone who advocates about loving your body tell me these things, I felt degraded. Then when they returned from the trip, Garcia said in the lawsuit, his compensation structure was changed from a monthly flat rate to a pay per task system that required him to submit invoices for each assignment. He said he was expected to provide the same services despite the pay structure change, but alleges that he was treated differently following the Ibiza trip and saw a decrease in bookings Megan hired him to do. Garcia began to consider quitting the job because of Megan's possessiveness combined with a lack of appropriate pay for the amount of time asked of him and a lack of bookings. Garcia remained on the schedule for a June 2023 job, but the night before, Roc Nation notified him that his services would no longer be required by Megan, according to the lawsuit. Garcia said in the lawsuit that he endured a barrage of relentless sexual and fat-shaming comments, plunging him into profound emotional distress. What I learned throughout the years, he said, is that especially coming from an office environment is, there's no HR department in the entertainment business. So if you don't know that you're being done wrong, you don't really know how to advocate for yourself until you start asking your peers who have representation. They have agents, they have management, they have attorneys. So I really just want to encourage people to advocate for themselves. The alleged behavior caused Garcia to face a loss in earnings and other employment benefits, as well as physical injuries, physical sickness, and emotional distress, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit states that while working for Megan, he was without basic insurance coverage and therefore could not get the care that he needed. He's talking about now got anxiety, depression, physical distress stemming from the toxic work environment. So Garcia's lawyer said this Megan just needs to pay our client what he's due, own up to her behavior, and quit this sort of sexual harassment and fat-shaming conduct. Emilio should have never been put in a position of having to be in the vehicle with her while she had sex with another woman. Inappropriate is putting it lightly. Exposing this behavior to employees is definitely illegal. Now, Garcia's lawsuit also outlines alleged employment and wage violations that center on his classification as an independent contractor. The lawsuit alleges that Megan prohibited him from working for anyone else and was denied overtime pay and breaks. His misclassification as an independent contractor left him without basic insurance coverage, depriving him of essential health care. Garcia told NBC News in an interview that he is seeking more than 6 figures. The lawsuit seeks unpaid wages as well as interest on the unpaid wages, unpaid overtime wages, and other employee benefits at the legal rate. He is also seeking statutory penalties and wage penalties pursuant to California labor laws, punitive damages according to proof and costs he incurred, including attorney fees. All right, I actually had to come and re-record the video because her lawyer responded. I had to re-record some parts of the video. Because her lawyer responded. I was not, because I was looking at all the accounts and stuff, and I was just like, I really hope that she gonna respond or say something. Like, I know that silence is like a, you know, one tactic to deal with these things when they pop up, but I was just like, I hope that she don't choose silence. And they didn't. This is coming from page 6. Apparently her lawyer responded to the lawsuit, to the accusation. Megan Thee Stallion is denying the scathing allegations made about her in a new harassment lawsuit filed against her Tuesday. So the lawyer says this is an employment claim for money with no sexual harassment claim filed and with salacious accusations to attempt to embarrass her. We will deal with this in court. And you know, this is true. The lawsuit itself is about like wages and stuff like that. No sexual harassment claim was filed, but I've already seen people argue against that by saying, well, just because, you know, a claim like that was not filed doesn't mean that what the guy's describing didn't happen, right? Like, doesn't mean that it didn't happen. But before we really get into it, y'all already know what I'm gonna say. We got to start it off by saying we don't know these celebrities behind closed doors. We only know what they show us. We only see what they let us see, right? Like, I've been running my mouth about pop culture for long enough to know that we don't know these people, and they really will surprise you with shit they do and say. Like, so at this point, I'm really divorced from the Stan shit. Like, at this point in my life, you know, like, I like facts at this point. These are the facts that we have, and I want to see how everything plays out because, you know, they said we will deal with this in court. So we will see, right? Because if someone needs to be paid wages, you pay them. Like, that's just it. And if someone has been violated or harassed sexually, then there needs to be justice for the victim, period. But at the same time, just based off of what y'all are saying online about this guy who filed it, just based off of what I'm seeing, right? Like, it would not catch me off guard if we find out when it's all said and done that this lawsuit was filled with a lot of truth, but also some embellishments too, you know? And that's just with the information that I'm seeing online right now at this moment in time, right? But I just don't think that, like, just automatically ignoring everything that's in the lawsuit just because it's Megan, or, you know, just acting like none of this can be true at all. I don't think that serves anybody any good, you know, especially with how dangerous celebrity can get. You see what I'm saying? So I just think that it's best to view everything, all situations, this situation, as like, okay, well, let's just get to the facts of what happened. Let's get to the facts of what happened and what is happening, because we just don't want no bullshit to happen in the future or to keep happening, no matter if it's your fave or not. Like, that's just it, girl. Like, that's just it. But like I said, every part of my soul wants this not to be true, wants everything to just be bullshit. You see what I'm saying? They talking about, okay, well, we gonna deal with it in court. They just trying to embarrass her. So I'm just like, okay, we're gonna see. That's it. We're just gonna see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. This is definitely not the last time we're gonna cover this case on the channel. I am sure of it, because it's only going to evolve from here. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Love y'all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.
And that's why you can't take me, you hate me. I don't want your nigga, you crazy. That nigga too lazy. I need me a nigga who can tame me. Coming through, we make your nigga switch.